Hello there everybody, my name is Shariko and welcome to the very first part of the F1 2021 My Team Career Mode. And before we get into it, just a few housekeeping issues. My recording for all the admin side of things before we got into first practice in Bahrain completely crapped itself. There was a lot of syncing issues and stuff, and there was no way for me to render it. I've spent too much time on it and, excuse me, I still couldn't get it to work properly. So I just decided to scrap it, and I figured, hey, I'll give you guys a quick rundown. Look, team name, we went with Shariko Galactic F1 team. Bit of homage to, you know, our 2020 career mode that we never finished. So we kind of stuck along those same lines. Team colors was purple and red, just sticking to the stream colors again, but honestly, I don't like it. Yeah, I'm sticking with it for this season because we spent too long on it, and I'm not changing it now. But you'll see, yeah, the race suit, the livery, the team, just everything. Nah, it's just a big no from me. So, look, guys, if you have any suggestions, yeah, let me know in the comments below. I'll come back to it at the end of this season when we're going to season 2, because we'll do a complete rebranding. We'll get a new color scheme going if need be, or just, you know, change this one up to be, you know, actually decent. But my issue is I'm not very creative, so, you know, any help would be very much appreciated. And if you would like to take screenshots of stuff you've done, etc., and send through, you can always join my Discord, which is in the link down below, and shoot it through there. The second driver that we chose was Robert Schwartzman. Went for one of the top guys, and just chose Schwartzman because we had a bit of money. Because we decided to go ahead and choose the Renault engine because it was the cheapest. So, you know, take that as you will, but the F2 drivers, a lot of the times, they're not that great to start off with, so I went with one of the top dogs to hopefully get him closer to me, and hopefully get maybe some points, you know, sneak some points in towards the end of the season. That'd be unreal. The sponsor we worked with, Xenon Dynamics, 15 constructors points 15 constructor championship points for the season is the season goal requirement, and we got 4.5 mil from it. So it was a bit of like an in-between, not too much, not too little, and it's a little bit challenging, but, you know, it shouldn't be too hard if we can get a few good races into us in the season. See, there's the race setup itself for this year. We're only going to do 16 race seasons, just because I don't have the time, and I also want to do 50% races, so it's going to take ways. I just will not have the time to complete many seasons at all if I do 50% race plus 20 race seasons, and then when the other 3 come out, 23 race calendar. It's just gonna be way too much. So yeah, basically what I'm doing is I've got 10 tracks that I'm always gonna play on. The other 10 tracks, I put them in a wheel decider. The wheel decider will spit out what the final 6 tracks will be. Just keep a bit of variation, you know, and then we don't get stuck doing the same tracks every single season. And as for the livery, I will show that in 1 second. It's pretty basic. Just tried to keep minimal as possible because red and purple just clashed, and I didn't like anything I was doing. Helmet as well, struggled with, you know, same. The Will Buxton interview, I apologize that I can't show that, but yeah, I couldn't even find the sound, to be honest, for that interview. I don't know what happened, but all you need to know is the last 4 questions, they're the ones that determine what upgrades you start off with, and I chose all aero. I wanted to get aero underway because if we are lacking in downforce and aero efficiency, I struggle. That is one thing I do struggle with. When I have a car that doesn't have good aero behind it, not good. I'm not good with that. Anyways, that's pretty much all the rundown, all the main admin stuff that you need to know. Other than that, we just boosted the AI in terms of their resource rate and whatnot, and technical mechanical faults are on as well. Now it's time to head in to the car reveal for the best livery you will ever see. So yeah, that's the car. Told you it was a bit bland. Yeah, I had done a lot of messing around with colors and, you know, whatnot, and I just, no matter what I tried, I didn't like anything. So I thought, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just choose this livery because I can put both on there, with the red being very minimal and the purple being very minimal. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's the admin side all wrapped up. Apologies for how it kind of turned out, but you know, it kind of is what it is at this point. Couldn't really do much to save it, so yeah, not much we can do there. But without further ado, let's get into free practice 1. Now, with the aim of not putting this video into the, you know, extremely long category, just showing the results from free practice 1, which is the only practice I actually partook in. The other ones I did the quick practice. And yeah, so we pretty much ended up with a 128.8, which wasn't too bad, to be honest, on first run. I'm pretty decent around Bahrain compared to some of the other tracks, so I was pretty happy with that. And that was a soft run, you know, we did do the quali sim. Our teammate did unfortunately finish down in P20, I believe it was. You know, it's free practice 1. Like everyone gets better through the course of the weekend, so we'll see how we go. Anyway, it's time to get into qualifying. So here we go over to Q1 on the Saturday. So Q1, let's go. Let's get into it. The main aim here is pretty much just to qualify into a decent position. I don't think we'll be able to get through to Q2 at this point, you know, very first race, but who knows? Maybe we'll pull out a lap of our life and get into Q2, but guess we'll find out. Q1 here in Sakir for the Bahrain Grand Prix. So plan is to just get out and do a quick lap, as is always. So I'm just going to show you my quick lap from Q1, and which was my second run. So the first run we did was a 29.1, I believe. So we left ourselves a little bit of work to do to try and get out of Q1 into Q2. But yeah, so here we go. So into first corner, first turn I should say, not too bad. I was a little bit iffy all weekend on the power through there after turn 1. You know, a couple times the back end stepped out and we caught it a few times, quite luckily. A couple of flashback cues. Don't say anything though. So already after the after the second DRS straight, we're up 3/10 already. Coming through here, we're pretty decent through the power. Staying away from the curbs. The curbs are nightmarish on this game. So a little slight lock up there, but you know, nothing too crazy. We're up 4/10 at the moment. This is the tricky, the sharp left-hander, turn 10s. We've done not too bad. We've gained 2/10 to 3/10, about 3/10 on our previous lap, so we're going all right. But will it be enough to get through to Q2, or at least get up close to through to Q2? I mean, I don't know. It depends what the AI do, because we're the first one out here for this second lap. So currently up 7/10, coming in, and we're into sector 3 now. So just, you know, one more turn to go, pretty much. And we're going pretty well. Lost a bit of time through there on that turn, but nothing to be too concerned about. We're still almost 6/10 up into the final turn here. We want to get a good, nice, strong exit. We've actually made up quite a bit of time, made up a few tenths. We're actually 8/10 up now, almost 9/10. Final DRS and cross the line for a 28.2. So not too bad, not too bad. So if we look at the standings here, you can see Ocon actually got a 5-position penalty. I have no idea what that's for. Probably track limits or something. I don't know. I've got no clue. But yeah, Bottas was P1 there in Q1. And where are we? If I want to scroll down. You wouldn't believe it. We missed out on Q2. What's that? That's like... Oh, I don't even know. That's like just over a 10th. Oh my lord. Giovinazzi has beaten us by like just over a 10th for Q2. That is ridiculous. Schwartzman has had not a bad qualifying as well. You know, only 2/10 behind us. So 128.4 for him. So pretty good. But yeah, so then we also had obviously Russell, Schumacher, Latifi, and I believe Mazepin. Yeah, Mazepin was the other one out. Latifi's also got the 5-second penalty. So... You know, I think depending on where Ocon finishes, we could end up one spot higher into P16 on race day. So without further ado, let's get into Sunday. It's race time.
Months of rumour and speculation all come to an end today as we return to racing for the opening event of what promises to be an enthralling season. Welcome along then to round 1 of this year's Formula One World Championship. We'll be racing around 3.36 miles of the magnificent Bahrain International Circuit today. Keep an eye out for drivers locking the front left down into the tricky braking zone of turn 10. A new season then, a clean slate where anything could happen. Anthony Davidson is with me today as we get another year of Formula One underway.
We're into those tense few minutes before the first race then. Everyone's a little bit nervous about reliability. They haven't been running in the hot, turbulent wake of other cars in practice, and they've not been pushing at 100% for long durations. Let's hope no one has to deal with any nasty surprises.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Perez, Daniel Ricciardo, and Norris, Vettel, Leclerc, Stroll, and Carlos Sainz, Gasly, Fernando Alonso, Kimi Raikkonen, and Giovinazzi. The Professor, Russell, Robert Schwartzman, and Esteban Ocon, Mick Schumacher, Mazepin, Tsunoda, and Nicholas Latifi. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
So as we said, Ocon with the 5 position penalty, so he starts behind us because he hasn't had a good enough Q2. But Yuki Tsunoda looks like he also copped a 10 grid penalty for must have changed components or something, and he starts in P21, so we're actually in P15. So we're going to go with a one stop here, and you know, what's the point doing the 2-stop? One stop's pretty powerful at Bahrain. So I've seen anyway, because I haven't actually done a 50% race yet. So yeah, let's see how it goes. Let's do it. So here we go. For the first time in the F1 2020 on my team career, lights are on. Engines on, and we're off at Bahrain. So we get a pretty decent start. We've got Giovinazzi there on the inside, and we're starting to make ground on him, and it looks like we're neck and neck. We've got a bit of open space here. Alonso just ahead of Giovinazzi as well, and we stick to the outside here, pulling up short of Gasly, not, you know, breaking up front wing. That's always a handy thing to not do into turn one. And then as we come in, oh my god, Alonso moves in on us, and he just gives us enough space, and we can get the move done on the inside. So we're heading to the second straight into P13. So it's been a pretty good start so far if we can maintain it. And we're late on the brakes here, and oh my god, we dive bomb right on the inside of Raikkonen, and a snap of oversteer, and oh, give me a heart attack, Shriko. Come on, man. But we make it stick, and we didn't cop any damage there. So what a hectic start to this race. So up into P12, so it's been pretty good, and I think our teammate's down in P15, so he's made up a few places as well. So not a bad start for the third worst car on the grid, I should say. So we come to the tricky braking zone of turn 10, and we do not too bad for the first off. To be honest, we had a bit of issues all weekend long with our braking zones as we go a little bit deep there into turn 1 on lap 2. So we're still in P12. Alonso's right hot on our tail. No DRS just yet, as it's only lap 2. But yeah, so the braking zones were a bit nightmarish for us, and little lockups all over the place across the course of the weekend as well. But you know, we managed to stick it out, and yeah, it's going pretty good so far. So we've got Gasly ahead of us, who's the first position in terms of the one-stoppers. And we are second with Alonso behind us and Raikkonen P14. And I believe our teammate is still in P15 at this stage, but I'm not really too sure. So a little lock up there, a bit of oversteer, but we're all right. We can control that, not too bad. So here we go. So we've got Alonso 0.2 seconds behind us. 0.1, he's making a bit of ground on us. Is he going to take a look in? He's going to have a little look on the outside, but he doesn't. He thinks better of it. He just doesn't decide to go for it. So we maintain P12. So we're having a little bit of a battle here with Alonso. So we skip to the start of lap 3 now. We've got DRS enabled. Alonso's 0.6 behind us, or 6 tenths, I should say. I don't know why I'm saying 0.6, but anyways, good race jargon, that one. So a little deep into turn 1 again. A bit of oversteer, but we correct it and catch the car, luckily. A little oversteer again, and there's been a yellow flag behind us. Who's that? What's happened there? So we're on board with Mick Schumacher on the replay quickly. Oh, and he's just overdone it on the throttle into turn 1. He's just spun the car out. Normally that's Mazepin's job at Haas, not Schumacher. But anyways, here we go, back onto the race. So lap 3. And we still got Alonso hot on our tail, so he's keeping chase. We can't really pull away from him. We're kind of struggling here to get away from him and create a bit of a gap. Meanwhile, ahead of us, Gasly, he's made a plenty of gap on us, so he's just over 2 seconds ahead of us now. So let's see what happens here. So Alonso's pretty close to us. He could get a move done here if he's gets a good slipstream in the DRS with the reduced drag here, but looks like we were deploying ERS there to maintain our position, and we've maintained it, you know, quite nicely there.
Okay, gap ahead is 2.3
onto lap 4. Alonso's still hot in our tail. We've gone defensive here into turn 1, and he's just a bit too far away for another look in. It's just looking like a battle between us and Alonso for the first half of this race, the way it's shaping up. So we go defensive again as he gets DRS into the second straight. Looks on the outside, but he thinks better of it because we placed the car perfectly, and he's still on the outside. He's still hanging around, but he's decided to drop off a bit now. That's much better from Alonso. Well done, mate. Keep us in P12. Don't overtake us, buddy. So maintaining P12, we're still a very good scrap with Alonso, and he's still hot in our tail. We have a bit of an oversteer moment, but we had a couple of those this weekend at that turn. So here we go, down into turn 10 again. This was honestly, I was always shaking and nervous on the inside coming into turn 10. I was just like so worried about going deep and locking up. But anyways, into the next DRS straight, and Alonso's gaining on us massively, and he comes on the outside as we go on board with him, and he looks to go around the outside, but he thinks better of it and drops in behind us. I don't think he would have made it, got the move done there, and he's, gone for the smart option and just played it patient, dropped in behind us there instead of trying to go around the outside and be a hero. So that's what you do when you're what is he, 2-time world champion? You learn to be patient. So he's done well there. This battle just continues on as we stay on board. As he's still hot in our tail, he's really looking to get this move done early and get away from us. And as he goes to the inside here, we try to defend and squeeze him a little bit, but he's just got DRS, and we're sitting ducks. We're deploying ARS, but we just can't keep up. As we switch to the overview, so he's got the inside line, and we stick with him around the outside, and I think that's Giovinazzi right on the tail of myself as well. And so we've lost the position. As we get DRS now on the second straight though. We go back on board with Shriko, and we look to go on the outside line, and we've broken Leighton. Oh, we're on the outside. We made a stick. He's still on the inside though. We're too wide. Got into 5 and 6, and we make a little bit of contact. Wheel-to-wheel contact, no damage though. We had absolutely no damage, and we made it stick. We're too wide all the way through there. That was incredible. As we have another oversteer moment. Oh my god. This race is so stressful. I was so stressed. Anyways, come down into turn 10 again. No oversteer there, but we still got Alonso on our tail still. So he's going to look to go to the outside, and he's could possibly do it here, but he's decided better of it yet again. We placed the car perfectly there. So anyway, we move on to lap 7 now. Oh, it's incredible. And we go a little bit wide here, but nothing too crazy. We get on the power. So we've got Alonso 0.8 seconds behind. He did drop off for a little bit I think he was, probably had a bit of overheating on the engine and whatnot, and he was just managing the gap between us, staying just inside DRS, Oh, we have a huge oversteer moment, but we catch the car, and that's really going to invite Alonso back in now as we give him a bit of space on the inside, and it looks like he's going to take it. He goes up the inside into turn 10. We're too wide here. Is he going to push us wide? But he doesn't, as Jeff gives us a new strategy option, and we're lost the position, but we get DRS here. So we're going in for a later pit now. Thanks, Jeff. No worries. And we go to the outside. He tries to defend Alonso, but we just got too much speed with the DRS. The drag reduction system is so powerful, and he just can't keep up. So on to lap 9 now, and a few players coming out of the pits. And that's Verstappen coming out of the pit lane there, as we got Alonso on the inside again, and Alonso actually makes a little bit of contact with our rear right wheel, but no damage from that one. We've had a few scrapes here and there with other cars, so it's been quite interesting. And Alonso looked up the inside there again, but not to worry. So Verstappen is right on the heels of Alonso now, and Verstappen's made his first stop. We haven't made our stop yet, so Verstappen's on the 2-stop, and we skip now to lap 10, where Verstappen actually overtook myself and Alonso, and we've gone and overtaken Verstappen, as Perez has just come out of the pits as well. But we leave a bit of room for Verstappen for the inside line at turn 1, and the traction and acceleration from the Red Bull is just incredible next to us. We got no answer to that, so we just let him go. No point. He's not our battle anyway. We got to stay ahead of Alonso. That's the main thing. We don't want to waste any time and invite Alonso back in too much by trying to battle with Verstappen when he's just got such a good car compared to us. We got a terrible car. So there's no point. So anyway, on into turn 10, Alonso is right behind us, and we've actually lost ERS. I don't know if you guys heard that. Jeff just lost DRS. Not just lost DRS. We've lost DRS, and we've just been swamped. Meanwhile, I'm trying to tell you about our ARS problems. We've been swarmed by Tsunoda and Alonso. Look at that. So we're too wide with Tsunoda and Alonso. We're in between and we're almost squeezed off the track, and we're heading into the second last turn, and we get the outside line and we get a bit more traction as Alonso gives us the room, but Alonso comes back oh my god, I can't even speak. Alonso comes back at us and he gets the overtake done again as we then get the switch back and go down the inside onto the final turn. Oh my lord. Shrieker, you're killing me, man. I can't handle it. I can't handle it. But we get DRS actually because of that, so we're going to pull away a bit from them as Alonso goes into the pits a little bit earlier than what we do. So he goes into the pits. We've got Tsunoda now up our ass, so we just trade out Alonso for Tsunoda. And if you can see, we've got Hamilton behind us, and look, we, you know, again, like the Red Bull, Hamilton's just in a far superior car, so, you know, he's got DRS here as well, so I don't even attempt to fight him. I just let him go. What's the point?
We're approaching the pit window.
So on to lap 14 or 13. 13. We got Tsunoda with DRS coming up behind us into turn 1. We don't really go too defensive because he's not close enough to make a move, but he's really close to us now. So we've got Norris on the tail of Tsunoda, who's also made his first stop onto softs. We're on mediums with Tsunoda, and we're on old mediums, and the tyre wear started. I was at this point in the race starting to feel the tyre wear kick in, and Tsunoda has a look at the outside as we go defensive and place our car perfectly yet again. We just had to play defensive this whole race. We haven't been able to attack anybody. It's been very difficult as Norris looks on. That was Norris looking on the inside, and there's a yellow flag for a split second as he hits us at the back, but he's all right. He recovered and he's still behind us. I didn't actually want to fight Norris again because, you know, and as we see, we skip to the pits, and Norris, we let him go eventually. We gave him an opportunity and he headed out. So we head into the pits for our first and only stop. So we're going to go onto a fresh set of hard compound tires and look to finish the race with it. Yeah, the tire wear really kicked in for the mediums the last few laps, and Jeff, on the in lap, actually, Jeff got the message from Jeff saying expect the grip levels to be worn down by now. You know what I mean. Keep stumbling over my own words at the moment. But yeah, I was already feeling it for a couple laps before that. And as you see, Alonso's actually overtaken us. So he's got the undercut, but if you notice, he's on the soft compound tires. So he's on the softs. So he's doing a 2-stop. He can't be doing a 1-stop. He went in lap 12, I'm pretty sure, for a pit, and he's on the softs. So it was about this point in the race as well. I realized, like, at this very moment there in the race that he was on the softs. So I thought, holy Jesus, we're not going to be able to keep up with him. And as you see, as we skip a bit further ahead in the race, he's already got a 3.5 second gap on us pretty much. But, you know, that's expected. He's on fresh soft compound tires. So, but he'll be making another pit stop. So we just got to keep within that 20-25 second window of him, and we'll be all right. So here we go. We're looking at the tower here on the left that they've just added as a new feature in F1 2021. And it's unreal, so you can see the position of everybody. So we got Perez, Verstappen from Hamilton as the top 3, Norris 4th, and then we got our teammate in P16, we're P13, and Mazepin P20 as per usual. George Russell's not having a great time as well in today's race in P19. But anyways, back on board with lap 17, and we're P13 with Tsunoda 9/10 behind us. But you know, we go very, very deep into turn 10. Which invites him in, and he's got DRS, and he's only 3/10 away from us now, making ground, but he's not going to be close enough to get a move done on us at the end of this straight. So we keep a decent gap ahead of him, but you know, he's looking likely on the next straight. And here we go, we cut to the pit straight, and he's 5/10 behind us with DRS as we go defensive very, very early. And I started to realize, hey, he's actually not going to get close enough as we're deploying ERS, and his straight line speed just wasn't the best in that AlphaTauri, but which was interesting. I thought, because Pierre Gasly's up in like P6 or something like that on the tower that we just checked. I mean, it's been a couple laps later now, but anyways, here's another DRS zone, and Tsunoda's right hot on our tail again, but just not close enough to get a move done on us again. And as you can see in the bottom left on the mini-map there, we are holding up a train of cars. That's me, Tsunoda, Raikkonen, and I think our teammate at the end of it. So we were struggling a bit in the acceleration zones out of the corner exits. I'm still getting used to my new wheel, which is the G920. And it's not a new wheel by any means, but it's a new wheel for me. I only just bought it, so, and I'm used to. Oh, Jess just told us we've got a few body scrapes. So, and as we're listening to that, Tsunoda's had a cheeky look on the outside of us at the end of that straight there, but again, placed the car perfectly. We've just been, honestly, all day today, we've had about, out of 18 laps, probably had about 15 of those laps where we were just defending at the end of that straight. It's been ridiculous. But yeah, I completely forgot what I was saying now. Thanks, Jeff. But anyways, on to the start of lap 19 on the pit straight, and we got people are going into the pits actually now, and there's Alonso in the pits. Actually, he's swapping out to the, I think he's swapping out to the hard compounds. So we come ahead of Alonso by a mile, who's just coming, he's just starting his exit out of the pits now. So we're way ahead of Alonso, so we make so much ground on him with him doing the 2-stop there. And we got the 2-second gap before, ahead of Raikkonen, I should say. And anyway, we cut to later in the race because nothing really much happened for the next like 5 or so laps. And Raikkonen, he's right on our tail coming out of turn 10, only a few tenths behind us. And he's got DRS on us, and we're going to go defensive pretty early here. And he has a look at the outside, and he actually gets neck and neck with us, and he gets ahead of us for a little bit. But again, we place the car perfectly and stay defensive on the inside line there, and we maintain P11. So we're up into P11 as well, by the way, guys. Just after all the pit stops and whatnot, and everyone's evened out, we're all finished our stop strategies, and we're in our final stints now. So yeah, we're in P11, so we actually made up a position from that. And anyway, up onto lap 24 now, coming into turn 10 yet again. You know, as you notice, it's just been the same corners every single lap where there's been interesting things happening. Other than these few corners, nothing was happening. So anyways, as we go on board with Kimi Raikkonen, who looks to make a move on the outside, then the inside as we go ultra defensive. He gets ahead of us again for a little bit, identical to the previous lap, and again we go defensive on the inside to place the car perfectly as he tries to have another look in on the inside around this arcing right-hander, but he thinks better of it, and we maintain the lead over Kimi in P11, but he's still hot on our tail. He's only 4 tenths behind, and then our teammate's only a couple tenths behind him. So the three of us, and there's a yellow flag on the DRS straight in sector 2. I think that was, I don't know who that is. It looks like I think that's a Williams car based on the color. It's Nicholas Latifi. He's out of the session, so I wonder what's happened to him. So he's out. He's done. As we come on to lap 25, we got a big gap to Sainz. Sainz, who's just, Sainz is a yellow flag for Sainz. So we got two yellow flags, and it's a safety car. There's a safety car.
The officials are deploying the safety car due to multiple cars.
So Sainz is out, Latifi's out. They both had car issues. There he is as we go past him. So we're up into P10. We're up into P10. So here we go. We look at the replay, and oh, that's an engine failure. Engine failure for Latifi on race 1. Oh, don't you hate it? First race and he's gone. Look at that. And he nearly runs into Tsunoda as he comes back onto the track. Tsunoda has to duck and weave onto the outside. That's Latifi's race done with an engine failure. The folks at Williams won't be happy about that. And here we go, having a look at Carlos Sainz. Who, he's just slow. I don't know what's going on with him. He's just slow as anything, and he's just pulled over. So he's just had a technical issue there. And as there's us, you know, leading the train of cars that we have behind us. So anyways, onto the field. At the moment, we've got Perez in first, Verstappen second, Gasly third. Gasly's in third place. He's going unbelievable in that AlphaTauri. Hamilton fourth, Norris fifth. Then we got Bottas, Ricciardo, Stroll, Vettel. Then myself, Shriko in P10. Then Kimi behind us. Then our teammate in P12, Ocon, Giovinazzi, Leclerc, Alonso, Russell, Mazepin, Tsunoda in P19, and Mick Schumacher is in P20. Yeah, so two car issues on the same lap. Pulled out the full course safety car. We've only got a couple laps to go at this point now. So at the end of lap 27, the safety car is actually going to come in, and we're going to get going. So this is going to be quite an interesting restart. You know, the race is in the balance for the top runners, and we're on the edge of the points here, so we got to really defend for our lives. So it's really important we get a good restart. And here I am just trying to get temperature into the tires, because I realized that, holy crap, I was on like 75 degrees, and these hard compound tires were way too cold. So we're behind Vettel. So the plan was just have a good start, get the jump on Vettel, and although he's in a much better car, hopefully overtake him and get a bit of a buffer room and hold him up and hold the rest of the field up behind us and sneak an extra point. So as we try and time it and accelerate it, and we slightly misjudge it, but anyway, we're back to green flag, and we're back to normal racing here as we get a terrible start actually on Vettel. He just streams away from us, and we go ultra defensive because Kimi's right on our tail, and we go ultra late on the brake, and we duck up the inside of Stroll, and we got the inside line on, no, sorry, Stroll's got the inside line on us, and we let him go. So we have a little, and Mazepin's out. There's another yellow flag. Mazepin's out on the restart at turn 1. I don't know what's happened to him. A couple cars have been caught up with him. Looks like that'd be Schumacher and Tsunoda. And anyway, we're trying to defend against Vettel as we take the inside line, and he's sticking on the outside, and he's best sticking to the outside line, and he just bulldozes past us. He bullies us on the outside line there. And then who's that? That's Kimi having a look on the inside of us, and Kimi spun out. Kimmy's hit us in the back rear right tyre and he's spun out. Back rear right tyre, and it's Kimmy spun out as well. So that was our teammate behind us. Oh my lord, this has been unbelievable. We've had two crashes. Kimmy's not DNF though, but he's down into last place at the moment in P19, but Mazepin's out of the race. And anyway, but no time to breathe because we got our teammate hot on our tail with DRS only a couple tenths behind us as we look behind to check where he's at, and he's flying up on us with that reduced drag, and he doesn't decide to go around the outside. He decides to sit behind us, and he's probably given, you know, a thought to the team there and thought, hey, the team boss, I probably can't really do much there. And as we come around, and there's another yellow flag, and it's our teammate.
5 seconds.
Oh, Schwartzman's gone. He's spun off. So as we take a look at the replay here at Mazepin on board with him and what's going on into turn 1, and oh my lord, so late on the brake, and he just runs up to the back into the back of George Russell there, I believe. So if we take another look from Tsunoda's perspective, and oh my god, both the back tires are gone. So onto Kimmy's perspective here with the incident that happened with us. So there's Vettel just bulldozing past his way on the outside, getting so much more traction, and oh my god, Kimmy, what are you doing? That's a racing incident. It's a bit of both our faults. Here's Schwartzman's perspective. Kimmy's just, you know, put his nose in where it probably shouldn't have gone, as I had the racing line and I didn't really realise, and I've turned in on him and there he goes. We're lucky to not take damage, to be honest. We just hit tyres, I think, and it was very lucky. So here's what happened with our teammate Schwartzman as well, as he decided not to go for a move on us. Had a bit of oversteer out of the corner there. He's looking alright. I don't know what happened here. It's just, what's he done? He's just turned the wheel. He's just driven off track. So that's one of the new AI mistakes. So he's just made a mistake. Unbelievable. That safety car restart has to be about the craziest safety car restart I have ever had. That was pure chaos. So anyway, back to racing. Meanwhile, we've had nothing really going on, but we've got Ocon right behind us, and he's got DRS on us, only a few tenths behind us now onto the final lap, and we're low on fuel, but that safety car actually saved us with fuel. We were under our fuel target before the safety car, so that was very handy. So anyway, we got Ocon coming real close onto our backside here. He's 2 tenths behind. He's looking for an opening, and we're trying not to give him one. As we go into the hard braking zone here of turn 9. No oversteer, that's fantastic. Easy on the throttle, that's all I was thinking. I was at this point in the lap, I was shaking. I've got Ocon hard on us, and we got Ocon's hit us. He's hit us and he's going wide off the track. Everyone's going wide, but anyways, we can't think fix Giovinazzi. He's coming up on the outside. And then we've got Leclerc behind him as well. So we've Giovinazzi in the Alpha and Leclerc in the much better Ferrari. I don't know how he dropped behind us. I don't know what happened there. And I think we hit Leclerc. Leclerc hit the back of us. But we maintained P10 somehow. I don't know what's happening. So but we got Leclerc coming into the second last straight here, second last turn. And Leclerc is hot on our tail. Can we maintain it in P10 and get points in our very first race? And Sergio Perez crosses the line and wins the Bahrain Grand Prix for Red Bull into the final turn. Leclerc's dropped off a little bit, but we can't breathe because it's still a little bit of a drag to the race. The finish line, I should say. He's gaining time on us, but the finish line comes oh so quick. Oh so too quick for him, I should say. And boy, oh boy, that was the biggest sigh of relief. But that's points. We got a championship point on our very first race. How good is that, guys? Oh my lord.
That's it for another
I was
spectacular Grand Prix
honestly
in Bahrain.
shaken. I looked at my hands after it, and oh my, I was honestly, my hands were shaking like crazy, and my heart was pumping. That was the very first 50% race I've ever done, so it's quite draining when you've not done it before. Quite a draining, 1 hour of racing. But my god, what a race it was. It was just pure chaos. So look at that, and also Pierre Gasly has done unreal as well. Look at him, he's P3. So Mercedes out of the top 3, they're not on the podium at all. So we got Perez in first place to Verstappen to Gasly. Gasly started off unbelievable. What a start this has been. So if we look at the finish, we're in P10 with a point. Now our teammate finished P17. It was a bit unfortunate. He had an unbelievable race. It's just that incident with us. Not even with us. He just had a driver error and just off he went. But anyways, if you liked what you're seeing here and you want to see more, guess what? We're going to be doing this hopefully a video a week. So on to Spain next week, and hopefully get a few R&D improvements, and yeah, we make the car a bit better and again, be competitive, and hopefully we can gun for a couple of points. But anyways, thanks for hanging around, guys. I will catch you later. Peace, and as always, may the force be with you.